Ted Cruz said, don't you talk about my man like that. Ted Cruz did not like it. Ted Cruz, da-da-da-da, to the rescue.
You may call my wife ugly, but not my man.
But not my
He defended him more than his wife. That's messed up. That's so messed up.
He's more like Trump can say it, but you cannot say it.
Captain Save-A-Ho. Who knew the hoe was this guy right here? Folks, it has been a common theme for the last 2 weeks. Apparently, it's not sinking in. So I'll say it one more time. I'll say it again. Maybe if you look at the cute puppy, you'll listen to me. Maybe she says, if I look into her eyes right here, maybe if I say it in her voice right here, maybe if you're not listening to me, maybe you listen to her. What you got to tell him, baby? Stay the off Twitter. Did you hear that? In case you don't speak Chihuahua, I will translate for my lovely girl right here. Stay the off Twitter. I used to say stay the fuck off Facebook, and now I'm saying stay off Twitter. Because people had just been making fools out of themselves for the last couple of weeks. Oz, we were doing this for a couple of weeks now. Am I correct?
Yes, we have been. You got to understand, man, your digital life is your real life now.
I expect him to get stupid on Twitter, but now I got to go in. And speaking of politics, I expect some of our other politicians to be an adult about the shit and only get on there on a need-to-know basis, not acting like children. And that is what we have right now. All today, as a citizen of Texas, it is my responsibility now to call out our lovely senator right here, Mr. Ted Cruz. But you know something, I got to call him out big time because listen, one thing, and this is not me actually going in and praising this at all, but one thing I can say about Trump and his tweets, you know, he comes after somebody, he says some shit on Twitter. He goes hard. It might be stupid, it might be wrong, it might be a flat out lie, but he
goes all the way.
He goes all the way. If he's going for it, he's taking a chunk out your ass when he's going in on Twitter, man.
He's like all in.
Exactly. He's going up your ass on Twitter. You can't be no bitch when you go on Twitter talking shit to people. And yet, Ted Cruz is a bitch. I've got to call out our senator. I don't mean any disrespect, but you, sir, are a bitch. And not just a bitch, man. You're a toady. You're a bitch-ass toady. You're worse than a bitch. You're a bitch-ass toady, man. Trump, I mean, you seriously, man. Just hardly got spine made out of rubber. I don't know if you remember this, Oz. This is the guy that Trump went after, where he just pretty much online told my man over here, told Ted Cruz online, said, your bitch is ugly.
Oh shit!
Told him online, man, this is some high school shit. He said, I'm married to a model. Look at your shit. Put up a picture of his wife.
Oh my God, this guy.
No need to spill the beans. The images are worth 1,000 words. My chick look better than your chick. Your chick ain't shit. This is a goddamn shame. Look at that.
This is happening.
I paid top dollar for my bitch.
People,
what about you?
These are our politicians.
Next thing he's gonna say, my dad can beat your dad or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
My dad is hotter than your dad. This is ridiculous right here. You know, he did take the high road, but once this is the pre-president Trump. But now that Trump became president, this dude that talked about his wife, after that happened, Ted Cruz was all up in his ass, man. Ted Cruz was all up defending Trump during the impeachment hearings. He's out there he was out there just pretty much just pimping out for Trump, man. I tell you, he remind me of it. I brought this up earlier. I should have kept this up here. He reminds me of Ted Cruz reminds me of that little dog and Spike when I think about him and Trump.
Huh, Spike? You want it? Huh? Yeah. Hey, Spike. like? How about we chase cars, huh? Does that sound like fun?
You and your wife.
Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, shut up. Hey, you want me to tell people you shouldn't be impeached? Shut up. Trump and Ted, right there. This dude is so much of a soft ass toady that I'm not surprised about what I just heard about him today. Not surprised to see what he's putting out there. I'm not surprised to see him do some other Weasley shit. Like starting fights with people much bigger, much tougher than he is, going up there and saying, you know what? You about to get your ass whooped. Get him, man.
Yeah.
He can't, starting shit with people, starting fights and getting somebody else to do the fighting for him. I don't know. Have y'all heard about this, man? Chat, you hear about this? Because it was all over the news. Jesus Christ. He does look like Eddie Munster. I mean, Grandpa Munster.
Grandpa Munster.
Oh, wow.
That's hilarious.
And he, like I said, man, he's going out there starting shit with these people and getting people to do the fighting for him. So who's the guy that he's starting shit with right now? Man went out there and decided to pick a fight. Meet me after school, hell boy. AKA Ron Perlman. The only thing scarier than his character in Sons of Anarchy is Ron Perlman in real life. I've seen Ron Perlman like go up to people and threaten them. You don't put that goddamn camera away, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Put it down.
I know, Ron.
Why don't you put it down?
Why?
Because I asked you to.
I'm saying back up right there.
Because I asked you to. I was like, oh, shit.
Look at that face, man.
He's going to bite your nose too, man. Put it on.
Yeah, you cherish your nose, you better put that camera down.
I've eaten all day.
Yeah. Just
ready.
got off a flight. I'm hungry.
Or he'll give it to his dog, maybe.
I haven't had a nose all day long. Yours are looking good. Man, you should have put the camera down at the turn. You see that turn? That scary ass
Hey.
turn?
Right?
Hit you
Look
with
at
that. Hit you with that detour. So the skid marks.
So Ted Cruz, you want to start a fight with that? Why you doing this shit, man?
Now, what did he say to Ted Cruz?
Well,
huh?
here's the thing, man. This whole thing with Ted Cruz starting shit with Ron Perlman, it didn't even have anything to do with him. It wasn't even man. It was none of his business. He didn't have to say shit. It all started again. Started with Twitter.
Twitter fingers.
Twitter fingers, man. Twitter fingers got itchy. And it all started. So it all started when you had this congressman, Matt Gaetz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody totally different, but okay.
Yeah, somebody totally different. Somebody had nothing to do with him. Man,
Okay.
this started with him talking to a totally different person. So Matt Gaetz, Ron Perlman was giving shit to Trump, and he was giving shit to Congressman Matt Gaetz because Trump and Matt, they were over here bitching and moaning because of the national anthem. Turns out that the U.S. soccer team, the board for the U.S. soccer team, they lifted this whole policy. They repealed a policy that would force players to stand for the national anthem. And you know, if they talk about kneeling or not standing for the anthem, Trump gonna be right there with something. And so was this dude right here, Matt Gaetz. So the whole thing that was said right here, Ron Perlman went out there and had, he decided to rub it in a little bit. It was Ron Perlman right here. The U.S. soccer team called, and you guessed it, said they couldn't give any less of a about what you dipshits think. You two dipshits think. And he let, and just in case you don't know who the two dipshits I'm talking about,
Tag them too.
at real Donald Trump and at Matt Gaetz, in case you had any confusion. It got to a point where Ron Perlman, he was being kind of a dick in this situation. Like, I don't like any of these people that he's talking about, But he decided to just go all in himself, man. He said, I'm going to pull a Trump. I'm on Twitter right now. I ain't holding back. I'm going for broke. You know what? I'm going to start talking shit to people who don't even have anything to do with this conversation.
Right.
So he started just picking on people. It was kind of low, man. He started picking on people who had nothing to do with this. One of the people was Jim Jordan. Right here. Politician Jim Jordan. Look at this. He says, he told Matt Gaetz, he says, P.S. You're lucky for this guy right here, Matt. If it weren't for him, you'd be the ugliest politician walking. Matt Gaetz.
That poor dude, like what I do?
Jim Jordan was asleep or something at the time. He's like, what the f*** I ain't say? I didn't say anything to anybody. Why you put me in this shit? Boy, this is some, keep in mind, people, these are grown men.
Yeah, nothing to do with it.
Right.
What's that, officer?
Minding his business, being ugly somewhere, minding his business. Call him out.
I'm on Team Ron, but Ron Perlman ain't really got an excuse to be going out there talking shit about people's looks. Let's remember, people, this is a man they cast as the Beast back in the day with minimal makeup.
Exactly.
All they did was they gave him a wig and some stubble.
You were born for this role.
Yeah. Ron Perlman can't really be talking about people's looks. You know, he's not exactly the most normal looking people.
Well, hey, listen, he's an authority, right?
So when he said ugly, like he meant like physical looks, or
Yeah,
he meant like
looks.
like being a nasty guy or something?
No, he meant physical looks.
Really?
He meant UGLY. You ain't got no L about you ugly.
Ugly. Oh, you ugly.
Yeah. Hey, Jim, you ugly. Minding his own business, man. So and it is messed up. And that's when Ted Cruz to the rescue.
It's cape on, huh?
Ted Cruz said, don't you talk about my man like that. Ted Cruz did not like it. Ted Cruz, da-da-da-da, to the rescue.
You may call my wife ugly, but not my man.
But not my
right?
Him more than his wife. That's messed up. That's so messed up.
He's more like Trump can say it, but you cannot say it.
Captain Save-A-Ho. Who knew the hoe was this guy right here?
Tough.
So this is where it got heated with Ted Cruz, where Ted Cruz pulled out that glove and said, I challenge you to a duel, Hellboy.
Yeah.
A man's satisfaction. Oh shit.
Ted Cruz came here and said, listen, Hellboy, you talk a good game when you've got Hollywood makeup and stuntman, but I'll bet $10,000 to the non-political charity of your choice that you couldn't last 5 minutes in the wrestling ring, not with me. but with Jim, good old Jimbo right here. This is nuts, man. This shit is crazy.
And he's like, you up for it?
By the way, keep in mind, he didn't ask Jim. Jim was all like, shut up, Ted.
Get him, Jim. Get him.
Yeah. You show him, Jim.
Yo, I'm just confused how it got to this guy. Because you showed me another dude from before.
Yeah, this made it over the tangle where we weave. You get him, Jim. Hey, Jim, you want to fight? You want to fight Ron Perlman?
Yeah, that wouldn't be no fun. How about beating up a cat? Would you like that, Spike? Huh? Would you like that, huh, Spike?
Shit. Let me go through it in case you lost. It started out with Trump and Matt Gaetz, Congressman Matt Gaetz. Somehow Matt Gaetz started talking shit to Ron Perlman, and then Ron Perlman said, oh yeah? Well, what about you, you ugly bitch, Jim? Meanwhile, Jim said, well, why me? I ain't got shit to do with this. And then that's where Ted Cruz came in and said, how dare you talk about my baby like that?
He'll beat your ass.
Oh, man.
So keep in mind, people are just talking to people who ain't got shit to do with anything, man. So now...
So what's Matt is going to do in this case?
So Matt, the funny thing is, Matt is gone. Matt has left the building.
Matt is gonna be the referee for the
For the wrestling match.
Oh man.
Matt has left.
Oh man.
Now it's between somebody who was asleep during the whole time this was going on and Ted Cruz.
That poor man's like, my name is Bennett. I ain't even in it.
But you are now. Get over here. Again, Jim's getting pulled in on all different sides. Jim got pulled in doing nothing and being called ugly for just sitting there, and then got volunteered for a wrestling match by Ted Cruz.
Crazy, huh?
This is better than a soap opera, man. This is a telenovela right here.
Oh my God, yeah.
I bet you $10,000 you couldn't last 5 minutes in the wrestling ring with Jim Jordan without getting pinned. Are you up for it? Or does your publicist say it's too risky? Now, these two.
He sounds like a pussy too. Like, oh, your publicist said it's too risky, huh?
What's the matter, Ron? Your publicist won't let you out to play? Ron. All right, I'm just playing, shit. It's okay, dude. Just playing.
Jim, come save me.
Get him, Jim! Get him! And then they start. Now, this is like I say, Team Ron, but this is too goddamn silly for two grown men to be doing this. They just start going back and forth. Here comes Ron. Wait, is this the Ted Cruz? Holy shit, man! Is this the same guy who let little Donnie call his wife a dog and his father an assassin and now kisses his ass? Yo, can I get your autograph, man?
Damn.
Yeah, and Ron, okay, so at this point, Ron Perlman's going in because at this point, if you notice, Ted Cruz ain't say shit after this. He just kind of shut up.
He faded. It.
Ted Cruz ain't saying shit. Actually, did say a little something. He started putting in little jabs too.
He did?
Yeah.
I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah,
I know you are, but what am I?
Ted Cruz says, I get it, you're rich, but apparently soft. You sure seem scared to wrestle Jordan, whom you keep insulting. Can't take the heat. Need to get a manicure. Ron.
Oh my
Fingers
God.
soft, Ron. But
This
these are
is
grown-ass people.
Bad.
What is going
Ted,
on?
you sound really hard when you're saying like apparently soft and shit.
Ted, anybody can look through that suit and see that you made a cookie dough, man. Be quiet. But Ron, of course, Ron ain't gonna back down. He gonna dig in a little bit more. You ain't gonna insult. Hey, you're not gonna insult my manicure. Get away with this. Ron Perlman, let's get back to business, Ted. Jim Jordan's too easy. Just a little bitch. But you, Teddy, you talk shit about New York every chance you get. My hometown. It's personal. Let's go, mofo. Yeah, man.
Oh, so he says like, I don't want Jim, I want you.
I want you. He went in earlier. Look at this. He says, I tell you what, Teddy boy, since mentioning Jim Jordan in wrestling is problematic, why don't we say f him and just make it you and me? I'll give you $50K to Black Lives Matter, and you can keep all the taxpayer money you were thinking of spending. Yeah, man. So,
And Jim Jordan's like, whoo, thank God.
yeah. No. The thing is, Jordan's over there, and he's right now. He's like, Ted, shut the f up. Don't pull me in the middle of this shit. And the reason why old Jimbo's over here telling Ted to shut the f up is because Jim Jordan is saying, one, I got a problem seeing two grown men act like kids on the internet, and two, why are you bringing me into this conversation and trying to make me wrestle someone after I just got out of a controversial accusation involving sexual misconduct in wrestling?
Oh, no.
A college wrestling referee says he complained to Ohio State University's wrestling coaches about sexual misconduct. One of the assistant coaches at the time was current Congressman Jim Jordan.
Oh my God.
Got him.
No.
It's like, how stupid are you, Ted? By the way, Ted Cruz is always saying stupid shit that always ends up making him look dumb. He's always doing things that just actually just bounce back and backfire on him.
Maybe he's just dumb. That's why.
He's dumb. Oh, Backfire Cruise. Everything this man does just, if you want to go out there and be kids, I'm rubber, I'm glue. Whatever you do, it sticks to you, whatever the saying is, because all this shit always backfires on him. Oh, Backfire Cruise.
Yeah,
You know I got a pass with wrestling. This shit just happened in February.
why you remind everybody this?
You couldn't say boxing or just a regular a street scrap or checkers or something. You had to say wrestling out of all the sports, man, out of all the things.
He got to change his last name from Cruz to Clown because
Yeah.
You probably remember it wasn't too long ago. He liked something online, and what he ended up liking was something from a porn site. Ted Cruz has been reported to Twitter for liking porn. It was a misunderstanding, they say.
Of course.
But
Of course. It's always
hey, what's
like
wrong with that?
Ted stupid ass Cruz, man. You are the last person who needs to be doing shit on Twitter for anybody because you can't even protect yourself.
The next time you want to stand up for something, just sit down.
What's even worse is that you bringing this shit up and those allegations are still going.
Yeah.
Rough.
Still going.
Tough.
Yeah. You know what, Ted Cruz, if you see me drowning, throw me an anvil, man. Throw me an anchor. Don't do me any. I better yet, don't do nothing.
Yeah, just watch.
If you see me if you see me drowning, just walk away, man. I'd rather take the risk.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz, boy. I give you this though, boy. You were funny. You are funny, man.
Maybe you should be a comedian instead of trying to be a politician.
I'm happy.
So he couldn't say anything to
Like,
Ron after all that?
No, he was like droopy looking at Ron. I'm mad. Yeah, boy.
It makes me mad.
What'd you say? You making me mad. Yeah, boy. Straight up comedy.
Love how that story went all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, wasn't it? I knew you liked this, man. I know you don't keep up a whole lot of politics, but I said I got to share this shit with these guys today because that shit is hilarious.
So it's good stuff. It sounds like it's between like 13-year-olds, but yeah.
Grown man, people. Again, it's Twitter. Twitter brings out the stupid in all of us. That's one thing I say about Ted Cruz. You do a lot of dumb shit on your own, but Twitter, man, Twitter can make us all look like fools. You just happen to have a head start. So
yeah, it went all over the place and landed in a familiar place. Stupidity.
Some in the chat, they said that was a conspiracy board with strings and threads everywhere.
Exactly, chat. Exactly. I was lost for a second. I need to come back.
Please tell me y'all got another episode of As the Ted Turns, man.
I need that.
Please tell me.